Hey tubers, gonna run one loop of old Marx trains today, and I'm using one of my favorites, locomotives. It's the Marx Canadian Pacific 3000, which was made in 1938. And this particular one was made to pull a passenger train, and you can tell by the extra traction weights in the front of the train. But I love the Marx Canadian Pacifics because I think they did such a good job reproducing the colors of the Canadian Pacific trains, steam trains. And of course, there aren't as many drive wheels as there were on the original Canadian Pacifics. There were 6, and this has 4. But this is a toy train, and that's to be expected. But boy, they sure got this wine maroon color down pat on the sideboards. Get this to go forward. Nice quiet little engine. Get a better view of the side of the engine and the tender. Definitely did a beautiful job reproducing the wine maroon tender. I watched a old movie called The 49th Parallel last night, and they showed one of these engines pulling a full passenger train up to a celebration they were having in Canada with lots of native Canadians on their horses with their feathers and at full war bonnets, and it was great. It was really a great old movie, and I would recommend it. But because of the coronavirus, I've been staying at home and going underneath the layout and digging out cars that I misplaced during the move 9 years ago from my old house. And this was one of them. It's an Marx Express, New York Central Express baggage car number 547, Railway Express, and we're just going to say that Canadian Pacific is leasing it from the New York Central. So, and here you will find a bunny bread car, which was probably made around 1997. It was when the Flynn's started remaking Marx trains, and they were called Marx Ameritrains. They made the 7682 bunny bread car, and I always thought it was just something they made up, and it was cute. It looks like kind of like the face of Bugs Bunny, but it's not. It's actually a copy of a registered logo for a bread company. I don't know if they still make bunny bread, but I looked it up online, and boy, they showed all kinds of old billboards and everything for it, and didn't have them up in Northern California. So, well, I just barely read, said it was made in 1998, so I got that pretty close. But they made them in 4-wheel and with 4-wheel trucks, which make it 8 wheels. But I picked this up a while back. I found it to be highly unusual, and it really gets your attention. And many folks may not know it. Marx made these wonderful little trucks and automobiles that would sit on a 6-inch car. And this has 2 little items that work as clamps and hold on to the running boards. You young folks won't know what a running board is. It was something you stepped on in order to get up high into your car or truck in the old days. Okay, I just acquired this one, and I absolutely love it. It's a monoplane, and I got it from one of the fellows in my Facebook Marx train group, and I was hoping he was making these. You can see the prop goes around, and no, he found it, and he made a clip for it and painted a flat car John Deere green, which I think looks great with this red, and put this on it. Now what I should do, I'm going to hold this steady, I hope, and grab a flashlight, give you a look underneath the wings. And this was somebody's project. It may have been some kid's shop project. But this was not a toy that was made in a factory. Somebody soldered this all together and did a great job. It's really a cool airplane. So I've got something that nobody else has. So we'll move it up. And Marx Ameritrains also made this mobile power unit. I found this packed underneath the layout. And this said it was made in 6 of 1999. So, and if you open the door up, you can see the generator inside. And I thought the colors were just magnificent on this thing, so that's what attracted me to it. And this is actually, besides the tender, this is the only other car with trucks on it, four-wheel trucks on it. And I do not know if they made this in with four-wheel trucks. I think it's probably somewhat rare. I haven't seen very many on YouTube or around. And this is one that most Marx collectors have seen, but it might surprise a few people. It's the Union Pacific cattle car, but it's open. And as you can see through it. And most of them were just lithographed. So these are supposed to be pieces of wood, and it's reinforced metal. And it's pretty darn cool. And I don't see an age when they made them. Marx usually didn't do that. And at the very end, Marx Ameritrains did what Louis Marx never did. They gave the Canadian Pacific their own caboose. Originally, they were pulling New York Central cabooses. Now let's see if I can get a close-up without this blurring. You'll see the this is a beaver up here. Nah, it's blurring a little. That's better. This is a beaver up here, sitting on the placard of Canadian Pacific. And of course, this is 7667. This would have been made in the late 1990s. And I deliberately got the four-wheel. They did make it with 2 four-wheel trucks. And I wound up finding one of those at a train show, and I thought, well, there are not going to be any available pretty soon, so I just might as well grab this one, so I have two of these, one in 4-wheel and one in 8-wheel. But this is our consist, and I'm going to play an unusual song. A lot of people don't know what I used to do for a living, and I was a jukebox mechanic. And started out as a young man repairing and overhauling jukeboxes. I had taken a lot of shop classes in high school. I had taken electronics classes and auto shop as well. So I just happened to be lucky enough to meet the right person at the right time who said, "Hey, I bet you'd be great for this job." And at the time I was running security for a big apartment complex, and I was bored to death. It was up on Goldmine Hill in San Francisco. And they even supplied the apartment, which was unheard of now. I bet the apartment is probably renting for $3,000 a month, and I was getting it for free and decent pay. But anyway, I was hired by a place called Bally Advanced. It used to be Advanced Automatic Sales, and they put me in the jukebox shop, and they taught me how to fix jukeboxes. And we fixed Seeburgs and Rose and old Wurlitzers and Rockolas. And I found out that, well, actually our clients found out that I was willing to go out on weekend nights and fix jukeboxes that are broken in bars, because if the jukebox broke down, everybody would leave the bar and go to the bar across the street so they could listen to music and dance. And the reason I brought the start of this story is because I found this old record in the bottom of one of the jukeboxes, and I never heard it before. And even though I was a solid rock and roller back then, I heard this record and I just loved it. And it's made by Jack Guthrie. I don't have the years, it must have been in the 30s, and he was actually Woody Guthrie's cousin, and it's called Oklahoma Hills. So we're going to start the train out. There she goes. And see if I can get this record going. My old boss loved this record so much that when he retired, he said, "If you want to give me anything as a gift, give me that record." And it was a 45, and I hated to part with it, but I gave it to him, and by God, I found another one on eBay. Run this train especially slow because it shows up better on the camera. It doesn't blur. In fact, if I back up, it'll even look better. And if any of you are wondering, yes, this is Arlo Guthrie's uncle who's singing this song. While the oak and blackjack trees hiss through maple prairie green, in those Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in Indian Nation, ride my pony on the reservation, in the Oklahoma hills where I was born. Way down yonder in Indian Nation, ride my occupation in the Oklahoma
Hills where I was born.
Somebody's curious and wonders what I'm doing. That's Buddy. He just came from the rescue shelter a year ago. It broke loose a little bit, the motor, because this train's been sitting. So if you notice, it's sped up. Well, I hope you enjoyed this old record as much as I do. And you learned a little bit about me. And you learned a little more about Marx trains. And thanks for watching. And once again, this has been a Big Lizard production. Bye-bye.